I had never heard of the legend of Lochnagar, and when I discovered this on Letterboxd, I was immediately interested for one reason, and then the more I learned about it, I became exceptionally curious. This is an animated short film from 1993 based on the book. I'll talk about that in a moment. And initially I was excited about this because I'm from Aberdeen, which is near the Grampians, which is where Lochnagar is. And then I found out that it was narrated and the book was written by King Charles. Of course, he was Prince Charles at the time. This is 1993. And I'd never heard of this. And I immediately thought, well, I need to watch that. And then when we learned that Robbie Coltrane voices the old man of Lochnagar, this sounded like it was going to be quite an experience. So I have now seen it. I do recommend it. But I think I enjoyed it more so for the novelty aspect of having King Charles narrating this, and of course the Lochnagar aspect. The actual narrative is okay, but I think it definitely would appeal more to younger children than those of us who are maybe older viewers who still have a penchant for animation. This is about the old man of Lochnagar, who is a delightful character who lives in the mountains in Lochnagar, and it's about his interactions with the characters, the animals of the forest and with nature, and I don't want to give away too much of that. And there are, of course, obstacles that he has to overcome, and we get to hear from the other characters as well. It's not just completely from his perspective, but I don't want to give away too much about it. I went into it not knowing anything about what this narrative was actually about, beyond the fact that it was about a character living in Lochnagar, and I really thoroughly enjoyed exploring it that way, so I don't want to give away anything else. But it's about this character and his interactions with the animals and the wildlife and some obstacles that he has to overcome, and it's a really, really sweet story. I don't know exactly how it compares to the book. I've never read it. Granted, I have only just heard of the book, and I'm kind of interested to check it out. I might do at some point. It's certainly looking like a sweet story, and the illustrations are gorgeous. The animation for this is really delightful. I really like the animation style. I really like the design of the old man of Lochnagar, Robbie Coltrane. Obviously fantastic voice acting there. Some of the designs of some of the other characters I didn't love. They looked a little too cutesy. And I feel like it would have worked better if they had a more realistic appearance. I feel like it could have been a really immersive story where we can be at one with nature as the old man of Lochnagar is, but because some of the characters don't look realistic, then I feel like it didn't work as well as it could have done. If I were to point out something that I think I personally would have loved to have seen done differently. But that being said, I still enjoyed the animation style. I still found this to be a delightful story. And if it sounds like it would appeal to you, of course I recommend it. I had a feeling it would be an interesting experience, and it definitely was. It's very well done. And of course, it makes perfect sense if you're unaware, I guess. Lochnagar, not far from Balmoral. Of course, Balmoral being a royal residence, if you're curious about why King Charles, then Prince Charles, would write a seemingly random story about an old man of Lochnagar, I rather enjoyed it. And while it may not be perfect with what I was personally looking from certain characters, I still found it to be an absolute delight. And needless to say, I think it's one that everybody should watch at least once. It's pretty fun, very sweet, definitely an experience.